Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
We'll talk figures in today's Cut the Clutter, not figures of Corona, but figures of oil prices, because I know that is again something that all of us are curious about. But before I do that, let me talk about another set of figures for 1 minute. And those are figures of Cut the Clutter. This is the 451st episode of Cut the Clutter. In the 450 so far, we've had more than 50 million views, 50 million views on YouTube. I'm not adding what we've had on Facebook, Instagram, etc. Just on YouTube, 50 million views. So 50 million times very wise people have come and seen Cut the Clutter. Our average viewership for Cut the Clutter since we started is 1 lakh. That for YouTube in English is a lot, if I may say so. For stuff which is deadly boring, serious, no clickbait, no jokes, nothing. Right? हम तो आपको रोज boring चीजें आके बताते हैं. Next, very heartening. When we started, we found that very few women were watching us, and that unfortunately is true of news on internet. So we started with a percentage as low as about 3% to begin with, went to 5, went to 8, then stood at 8 for a long time. Now we find over the past few months, it's gone up to 14%. It is still 36 by 36 percentage points too little. It should be 50, but we have doubled our numbers of women watching our YouTube channel and Cut the Clutter in the past 3 months. So thank you very much. You are very smart women and we really value you. Next, I must acknowledge the amount of knowledge I am getting from our viewers, because I read at night all the comments that come in. I'm not able to reply to all of them because it just says that by the end of the day my fingers also ache. But the fact is that a lot of them bring me wisdom and bring me ideas for things to do tomorrow, and very often you people, smart ones among you, the smartest ones, even catch me with some mistakes which I promptly acknowledge and also put corrections, because the whole idea of putting something out in public domain is that it then goes through a very large trial. So all of you very smart people, check it. So once again, thank you very much. In fact, if I look at our last 100 episodes of Cut the Clutter, our average viewership is nearly 150,000 on YouTube in English, and encouraged by this, we've now started this in Hindi as well, and that is also going up. So once again, thank you very much for being there. Now, leaving these figures out of the way now, let me talk about some other figures. You remember these visuals that we see all the time. I think there's a tomato season and there's an onion season and there is a potato season, when you have these visuals of farmers going and throwing their produce of tomatoes, onions or potatoes on the highways, because they are fed up and they are frustrated that prices have fallen so low that it's not worth their while. So they say, इससे अच्छा इसको सड़क पे डाल दो और वीडियो बना के कम से कम वीडियो वायरल हो जाएगा. At least somebody will worry that farmers are getting such a bad deal. Now, why does that happen? And then you have a cycle when onion prices go up or tomato prices go up, and the same TV channels which were earlier doing Rona Dhona over poor farmers' plight, that the farmers was getting no price for onion, now say onion prices have gone so high, it brings tears in everybody's eyes, it brings tears in Narendra Modi's eye, Sonia Gandhi's eye, whoever's eye. So these boom bust cycles take place. So what happens is, when there is a glut, you might have a great production, but when you have a glut, you can't get any price because nobody has any place to keep it. And when you have a price go up, then nobody has anything in storage because storage is limited. So I told you we'll be talking about oil prices today. I have not lost my way. What happens to onion, tomato, potato in these boom bust cycles is exactly what's happening with oil right now. So the world is awash with oil, which means that people who produce oil had not anticipated that the consumption of oil will fall so much. So they never thought that by the time April comes, almost the entire world, about 2/3 of the mankind will be under lockdown. When that happened, it happened too drastically. And when mankind, humankind, goes under a lockdown, energy consumption goes down, and that's why your skies are clear. You can see the Himalayas from Jalandhar, right? In fact, there are memes now. You can see Toronto from Jalandhar, or you can see Eiffel Tower from Jalandhar, because pollution is gone. But the fact is that pollution is gone because energy is not being consumed. So the story underlying this lack of pollution, now rivers are so everything is clean, is that people are not consuming energy because people are indoors. Industry has come to a standstill. Now, because oil is not being consumed, but nobody had anticipated it, people ordered all this oil in advance because oil is bought as futures. Like all large selling commodities, they are bought in futures. So, last week, how did oil go down to minus $37? That means, boss, take my barrel of oil. A barrel of oil is not a little bit of oil. For some reason, oil and even food grain globally is still not sold, particularly in America, on the metric basis. So food grain, they'll say bushels. We'll talk about that later. But oil is still barrels. So a barrel is about 159 liters since we are a metric country. So 159 liters of oil you can take, and I will pay you $38. That's almost 3,000 rupees, 2,900 something rupees at today's levels. So आप मेरा तेल भी ले जाओ 159 liters और साथ में मेरे से पैसे भी ले जाओ. But there is a catch there. The catch is I can take that oil, but where do I keep that oil? So this, I will take you back to some Haryanvi wisdom there. So there's an old Haryanvi story which is best told in Haryanvi Hindi, but I will try and see if I can do it without losing all the flavor of it. It's like a family falls on straitened times and the father asks the son that there is some noise on the street, can you go out and check what's going on? The son comes back very excited and he says, Bapu, they are selling an elephant for 1 rupee. So father says, all right. He is a wise Haryanvi. Most of us Haryanvis are very wise people. So the father is not excited. The son says, are you mad? Bapu, this is an elephant worth 10 lakhs, million rupees worth. He's selling it for 1 rupee. So the father says, the wise Haryanvi, कि बेटा 1 रुपए का तो हाथी ले लेगा अभी, लेकिन हाथी को बांधेगा कहाँ, जगह नहीं है घर में बांधने की, हाथी तो इतना बड़ा होता है, और हाथी को खिलाएगा क्या? So where will you tie that elephant and how will you feed that elephant? You don't have any money to buy food for that elephant. So that is exactly what's happened to oil, that you can get this oil for free. You can also take money for free, but 160 barrels of liters of oil, you buy 10,000 barrels. Where will you take that oil when nobody is consuming that oil? And the world is running out of storage space for oil. America already has 635 million barrels in their strategic reserves. They are full up. Now Trump has said he'll buy another 75 million barrels. But even if he buys that, it will be too little to shore up these oil prices. So people had booked oil which was to be delivered. Those futures were expiring last Tuesday, and suddenly this oil had become available. And this was the middle of America in Oklahoma. So you have to ship it from there. And this is an inshore place. This is not even on the coastline. And you didn't know what to do with it. So this was the money that you had committed. So you were happy to get rid of it for any price. It's like if you had booked an elephant for 1 rupee and maybe 10,000 rupees, and it became available to you, and you didn't have any place to tie it, and you said, somebody take it from me for 1 rupee. Nobody would come. There is somebody take it from me, I'll pay you 1 lakh rupees. But again, nobody needs it. That is exactly what's happened with oil right now. That's how we got here. There is no mystery to how we got here. Now, we traveled some distance before getting here. Corona trouble started in January. Again, this virus, we had told you once in another CTC, this virus runs faster than bureaucracies. This runs faster than corporates. This virus has been running faster than scientists as yet. So this virus was also running faster than commodities traders. Nobody anticipated that demand will collapse like this. So 6th of March was a phone call between Mohammed bin Salman, MBS as he's called, the Saudi Crown Prince, and Putin, where there was a negotiation about reducing oil production because Saudi Arabia and Russia are among the two biggest producers of oil, crude oil. So there was discussion about reducing the output to shore up the prices. And together they wanted an agreement on reducing oil output by 3 million barrels per day. And I will put 3 millions in perspective in 2 minutes. 3 million barrels per day. And they thought if we reduce it by this much, then the fall in oil prices could be arrested. That did not work out. There was a fight between them. And I read a story in a publication called Middle East Eye, story written by David Hart. And I think I am told that this writer has good sources in this business. It said that the phone call conversation that MBS and Putin had ended quite badly. They ended up fighting with each other. And he also says that before that phone call, MBS had exchanged notes with Jared Kushner, who's Donald Trump's son-in-law and also his closest advisor and confidant. So maybe he thought that there was instigation from the US to go fight with Putin a little bit. Because you have to understand the geopolitics of oil today. There are two nations in the world which punch way above their weight, just because they have crude oil. One is Russia, the other is Iran. Both countries, America and the Western world and NATO, have issues with Russia, particularly NATO. In case of Russia, it's crude oil plus other commodities. Now, if crude oil prices fall to a certain level or don't go beyond a certain level, then countries like Iran, although Iran is right now under sanctions, so it's a bit different, Iran and Russia lose a lot of this power that they have to punch above their weight. Then apni औकात में रहते हैं. Then they are put within their limitations. But oil at $100 per barrel makes them superpowers. So the Western world, led by America, has been trying to bring down the price of oil to levels where Russia can stay within its realistic limits. Putin also knows it. And that's why this trouble took place, and they both had a fight and they decided not to cut consumption. And MBS then apparently told Putin that hum to doobenge sanam, tumko bhi le doobenge. Because all said and done, MBS and Saudi Arabia are sitting on a huge sovereign wealth fund, huge reserve, which Russia isn't. Russia is a doddering economy. Think about it. At this point, Russia's GDP, total GDP, is about half the size of India's GDP. Superpower. So that is where this got stuck. So they had this fight, and this consumption, this production went up, and oil kept on falling and falling and falling. But then the fall became so steep that nobody had imagined. I told you I will put 3 million barrels per day in perspective. So today, in the month of April 2019, last year, India was month-on-month comparison, India was consuming 4,48,000 million barrels of crude oil a day. This April, India is consuming just about 1.5 million barrels a day. Just about 1.5 million. And this includes all petroleum energy, including LPG, which the consumption of which actually has gone up in India lately. But everything else has collapsed. So the fall in India is how much? 3 million barrels. Just the fall in India because of corona lockdown will consume all the cut in production that Saudi Arabia and Russia were planning, even if that deal had gone through. But deal did not go through. So that's why I said the world is awash with oil, because nobody had imagined that this will be the situation. Now you have to understand the larger figures. If you look at 2018, America consumed 20 million barrels a day. In China consumed 13.5 billion barrels a day. India consumed little less than 5 million barrels a day. Saudi Arabia 4 million. Russia 3.2 million. These are the big consumers of petroleum. All of them have fallen at this point by almost 60 to 70%. So you have onions and onions and onions, you have lorry loads of them, but nobody needs them because nobody is eating them, or people have enough in their kitchens already. If you look at storage, I told you even strategic storage, India has filled it up. America has filled it up. India now has capacity left. I see in a Bloomberg story, India has capacity left for about 15 million more barrels. That's about 4 days of normal Indian consumption. At this point, maybe 15 days of Indian consumption. So India will fill it up. Oil is not something that you can stock up. You have to buy it in the future. So maybe if you go now to buy oil in the future, you will not get it at the same price. This price is as of now. So once again, onion, एक time 150 रुपए किलो. If you buy onion futures now, say for November next year, December next year, it will be 100 rupees a kilo. Today, new crop is coming, there will be the price of nothing. That's precisely what's happened with oil. Now you look at production. 2019 production figures, US had 15 million barrels a day because US produces a lot of shale gas also now. Saudi Arabia had 12 million barrels a day. Russia had 10.8 million barrels a day. Iraq had 4.4. And India, since it's academic, but I know that you will be curious, India produced about 0.7 million barrels a day. Very little. So 0.7 million would be about, say, 1/7 of India's needs. The rest is imported. Now, what's being planned right now? What's being planned right now, the new negotiation is that Saudis and Russians are talking to bring down the global production of oil by 30%. So initial discussion is, as I read, Saudi Arabia cuts and Russia, between them cut by 10 million barrels a day. On the understanding that America will cut 5 million barrels a day. But Donald Trump is not interested in cutting because, he's got his shale gas industry and there are lots of votes in Texas and other oil producing areas. So he doesn't want to stop that production. Russia says that unless America agrees to cut, we are not going to cut. So once again, you are getting triangulated between these three, and it looks like the prices of oil are going to be low for quite some time because nobody knows where to take this oil and nobody wants to stop producing oil or selling oil. Now, this has many consequences. This has consequences, say, for shale gas industry in America because at this price it's unremunerative. It has consequences also for non-conventional energy, wind, solar, particularly in India, because now if oil is at this price, at what price will somebody buy energy produced by them? So that is how you get caught in this situation. Now I will tell you for 2 minutes what it means for India. First of all, the price that you see in America is called WTI crude. That is traded on NYMEX, NYMEX, which is the American Mercantile Exchange. That is essentially for oil produced in America and for use in America because America is too far to ship oil from. India's oil fortunes depend on what is called as Brent oil prices. Brent is traded in London. Now, Brent has also fallen, but not like WTI because that's an American oversupply situation. It has fallen. Now, many questions come. If it has fallen, then why is the government not dropping the price of petrol and diesel? Why are they not passing it on to poor Indian consumer who's suffering? Or if the government is not passing it on to the consumer, isn't the government getting so rich now, collecting all this excise on this fuel, and they can then fund all kinds of bailouts and stuff with that? So once again, go back to your onion story or the elephant story, because when you have the money, you are not getting what you need. When you don't have the money, you are getting for free what you cannot handle. So first of all, India cannot buy any more fuel and store it because there is no place left for storage. Second, consumption is not there, so India cannot take the benefit of this low price because nobody is going out. We are under the lockdown. Who's buying any petrol or diesel? Finished. Number three, instead of making more money from excise, government is actually losing enormous amounts on excise because excise will come to the government only when people are buying. If we are in the lockdown, we are not buying. If we are not buying, government can increase its rate of excise to 500%. Dil behlane ko galib, ye khayal acha hai. But if nobody is buying, you can get no value for it. Then even if the government makes it free, you say government को सस्ता कर देना चाहिए, government can make it free. What's the point? Government can make it free. Can I go out and buy it? We are under a lockdown. Our cars have, or autos have, everything has dust falling over them and gathering over them. So this is like the elephant selling for 1 rupee. That elephant is selling for 1 rupee. Government can make petrol at 1 rupee a liter, but if I can't drive my vehicle out, what is that worth to me? So I will wait when I can drive out. When I can drive out, then I will start putting petrol in my car or diesel in my vehicle. When I do that, demand will go up. When demand will go up, then oil prices will not remain at this level. So this is the same demand supply conundrum. So we are caught there in a situation when there is no demand. There is no demand, there is a lot of supply, prices have collapsed, we can take no advantage of it. So think we are all like the Chaudhary Sahab in that Haryana village whose son comes and tells me, Bapu, hathi 1 rupee ka bik raha hai. It's not worth anything for you because you cannot use that elephant. So that is where global economy is right now. Of course, low oil prices are good for India. And of course, even as we slowly come out of the lockdown, oil prices will not go back to the old levels. They will remain low for a long time and they will be benefit for India. But right now, I thought because there is a lot of mythology and a lot of myth making, I will bust some of that. And also, without daring to sound like an oil market expert, that's a very specialized field, I would try to simplify it as much as possible for you. And remember what we said about our 450 episodes. Once again, thank you very much. The most valuable thing that Cut the Clutter has done for me, it has discovered for me such a brilliant, thinking, questioning audience. So please be there and please keep growing.